Eureka! I have found it. I have found it. The king gave a little gold to the goldsmith to make the crown. And the goldsmith made the crown. But on receiving the crown, the king had some doubt that all the gold that was given to the goldsmith was not used in the crown. So, how to find out? Archimedes was summoned. And he asked for the solution. But before finding a solution that he may be fresh, he went to have bath, a shower. Then he dipped into the bathtub and the water fell out. Eureka! Eureka! He said, ran away naked on the street. Eureka! Eureka! I have found it! I have found it! What did he find? He found that the water that was spilled out of the bathtub was equivalent to the mass or the space or the weight of his body. As weighty was the body, so much of amount of water was spilled out. So he found the solution to the problem of the king. What is that? If you have doubt that all the gold is not used and silver is used, well, undo the crown, find out how much silver is in it, weight, and then weigh it, and you know, so much of gold has been pocketed by the goldsmith. I have found it. Brothers and sisters, have you found it? Would you say Eureka? Of course, I don't ask you to run away and that too as he ran on the street. Have you found the greatest treasure? The rarest treasure? The rarest of rare treasure? What is it? Or rather, shall I say, who is it? Can any one of you answer? What is the treasure I'm referring to? Who is the treasure? I hear the whispers and I conclude the person of Jesus. To find it, you need wisdom. Solomon in the first reading of today was asked, ask what I shall give you. God is asking Solomon, what shall I give you? Oh God, you have placed me an unworthy man in the place of David my father, although I am but a little child. And your servant is in the midst of your people whom you have chosen. A great people, too many to be numbered, counted of for multitude. Therefore, I humbly ask you, give your servant an understanding mind. An understanding mind for what? To govern your people, that I may discern between good and evil. For who is able to govern this, your great people? What did Solomon ask? Did he ask for money? Did he ask for riches? Did he ask for gold? Did he ask for silver? Did he ask for property? No. And the Lord says, because you have asked this and have not asked for yourself long life or riches or the life of your enemies, but you have asked for yourself understanding to discern what is right. Behold, I now do according to your word. Behold, I will give you a wise and discerning mind. Means, I will give you wisdom. What kind of wisdom? So that none like you, none like Solomon before you, and none like you shall rise after you. Neither before Solomon nor after Solomon, such a wise person the history of this world has seen, except one. And what is that exception? Huh? Say it aloud. Jesus. Very good. But before I come to that, let me give an example from the life of Solomon as to how he displayed the wisdom that God granted him. Immediately in the same chapter, we read from the third chapter of the first book of Kings, in the same chapter towards the end, 2 women delivered babies. In the same place, they slept in the same room. I don't know whether in the hospital or at home. Probably at home. Where were the hospitals then? Anyway, and at night, one woman, who was rather a wicked one, slept over her child, and the child died. And the other mother was there along with the child. And she got up early in the night, very early in the night, and took the dead child and kept it beside the other woman and took the living child for herself. And in the morning when they got up, the woman says, "This dead child, my child is dead. But it is not mine. See, my child is there. Hey, you have taken my child and the dead child of yours you have kept here. You have killed the child and now you want to take away my child." They were taken to Solomon to solve the problem. Solomon listened and said, "Get me a sword. Get me a sword." And they bought a sword and he was about to divide the child into 2. You take one part, one mother, the other one will take another part. "Oh, please," the real mother said, "if she wants to have the child whom I have given birth, Nanna Karala Kudi, if she wants, let her have, but don't please kill the child." It was very evident for Solomon that this woman who cried, saying not to kill the child, was the real mother. Because the other one also cried and said, yes, let us divide. I will have one piece and she can have another piece. Very evident. So the person who said kill was the fake mother, and the person who said please don't kill, let her live, let the child live, was the real mother. And they took the child and gave it to the real mother. Wisdom of Solomon. Why did he have such wisdom? Because he asked for it and God gave it. Well, I said, dear brothers and sisters, none before Solomon, none after Solomon has arisen on the face of the earth such a wise man as Solomon, except one, that is the person of Jesus Christ, I said. Jesus not only has knowledge, not only has wisdom, he is the wisdom of God. He is the power of God. As St. Paul, writing to the Corinthians, says, "Behold, we preach a Christ crucified, who is the power of God, who is the wisdom of God." And he says, therefore, in the gospel of today, giving the parables, the kingdom of heaven, what shall I compare it to? It is like a treasure hidden in a field. A man understood, oh, in that field there is treasure, nidhi. And so, what does he do? Immediately, instead of digging it, and others coming to know, and others also usurping it, confiscating it, he goes home, sells all that he has, the little money, the little gold, and goes and buys that field, no matter what's the price. He knows the worth of it. He knows the worth of it. Once the field is his, he can do what he wants. No one can object to it. And he can unearth the treasure trove, and he can have a wonderful royal life. Wisdom, wise man he is. Second parable. Again, it is like the merchant in search of fine pearls. And when he finds one, a rare pearl, like the Koh-i-Noor diamond, he sells all that he has and goes and buys that. Why? He knows the value of it compared to the little gold or silver that he possesses in his almirah or drawer, which is also stolen even during the day. Yesterday you read in the Star of Mysuru. Don't keep gold in the drawer or almirah. You can put it to infant Jesus within brackets. Well, so, and then of course there are other parables, not necessary, but fine. Good fish is gathered, bad fish is thrown, means treasuring the good. Jesus is not only good, but he is goodness. He is goodness incarnate. Jesus is not only wise, but he is the wisdom incarnate. Therefore, there is in the missal, there is a mass, Christ, the wisdom of God. Jesus Christ, the wisdom of God. So what is the message for you and for me? The second reading tells us, God predestined us to be conformed to the image of his Son. Meaning, you and I have to conform to the image of Jesus Christ. Why? He is the wisest person. He is the wisdom of God and the power of God. If you treasure Jesus as the finest of treasures, the best of pearls, you will try to follow Jesus and imitate him. Will not go after money, will not go after gold, will not go after royal palaces and palatial homes and the latest brand of car and the best meal available on the earth and what not, the best dress, the latest dress, slit somewhere, cut somewhere else and all that, because you have found that all that is bullshit, all this is garbage. He alone lasts. He is the real treasure, and that wisdom you will have when you have the real wisdom, the wisdom that of Solomon. You will go after the real wisdom incarnate, namely Jesus Christ. Pray, therefore, brothers and sisters, that we all, you and I am no exception, I am not better than you, perhaps worse than you. Let us go after Jesus, the wisdom of God, power of God, and not go after worldly things and treasure them. Let us treasure Jesus and keep him safe, where no one will steal, no one will take it away, no one will waste it. May Jesus, the wisdom, who now will come in the form of bread and wine, give us the strength to really search for him and to be wise like him.